I watch Emily's fingers tremble as she holds up her left hand, the diamond catching the light in a way that makes my stomach clench. The engagement ring is exactly the kind I would have chosen. Classic, elegant, timeless. Just like the daughter I've tried so desperately to claim as my own for the past 7 years. My name is Maya, and this moment should be perfect. We're all gathered at the upscale restaurant I reserved for Emily's 24th birthday. Andrew beaming beside me, Joshua nervously adjusting his tie, our closest family friends dabbing tears and raising champagne flutes. I'm smiling so hard my face hurts, but something in Emily's eyes makes the celebration feel hollow. I can't believe my baby girl is getting married, Andrew says, his voice thick with emotion as he pulls Emily into an embrace. She returns it stiffly, her gaze sliding past him to fix on something or someone near the entrance. I turn just in time to see a flash of copper hair disappearing behind a column. My chest tightens. I know that hair, that furtive movement. Karen, Emily's biological mother, who abandoned her family when Emily was 16. The woman who's supposed to be in Seattle, not lurking at her daughter's engagement dinner in Chicago. Everything okay? I ask Emily, touching her arm lightly. She jerks away as if burned. Perfect, she says, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. Joshua and I are thinking about a spring wedding. Small, intimate. Whatever you want, sweetheart, I say, already mentally calculating costs. My salon empire can easily cover a wedding 10 times what they're likely planning. I'd love to help with the arrangements. Actually, Emily cuts in, we want to keep it simple, just immediate family. The words hang there, heavy with implication. I've heard that tone before, when she introduced me to college friends as my dad's wife instead of stepmom, when she excluded me from mother-daughter events at her graduation. Joshua clears his throat. Emily, maybe we should— No, she says sharply. Then, softening, let's just enjoy tonight. Andrew squeezes my hand under the table, but it feels like an afterthought. He's watching Emily with that familiar mix of guilt and adoration, the look that says he'll never quite forgive himself for her mother's abandonment, that he'll do anything to keep her happy now. The waiter arrives with more champagne, and conversations bloom around us. I catch fragments, Joshua's recent promotion, wedding venue suggestions, jokes about in-laws. But I'm stuck on that copper hair, on Emily's trembling fingers, on the careful way she's avoiding my gaze. Lisa, my sister, leans close. Did you see? Yes, I cut her off, not wanting to hear Karen's name spoken aloud. Not here, not now. What are you going to do? I take a long sip of champagne, letting the bubbles burn my throat. What am I going to do? I built my life from nothing, transformed a single chair in a rented booth to 30 high-end salons across 3 states. I married Andrew believing I could build something just as beautiful with his daughter. Now I'm watching it all unravel because a woman who threw away her family thinks she deserves a second chance. Emily laughs at something Joshua whispers, but her eyes keep darting to that column. Each glance is like a knife between my ribs. 7 years of school events, late-night talks, shopping trips, and family vacations. All of it means nothing against the pull of biology. A toast, Andrew announces, standing, to Emily and Joshua and new beginnings. Everyone raises their glasses. I lift mine mechanically, watching Emily's face in the candlelight. There's something calculating in her expression now, something that makes me wonder if Karen's presence is more than just coincidence. To new beginnings, I echo, but in my mind, I'm already plotting how to ensure this wedding never happens. The bridal boutique's pristine white walls mock me as Emily emerges from the dressing room in her 3rd wedding gown. It's a masterpiece of silk and lace that costs more than most people's monthly salary. I'd write the check without blinking, if only she'd look at me the way she keeps glancing at her phone. It's beautiful, I say, reaching to adjust the train. Emily steps away, her movement so subtle it could almost be accidental. Almost. I don't know, she says, studying her reflection. It feels too traditional. The boutique owner, a woman who introduced herself as Madame Claire, hovers nearby with an arsenal of veils. Perhaps something more modern? We have a lovely collection from. Emily's phone buzzes. Her fingers twitch, but she doesn't reach for it. Not yet. Why don't we take a break? I suggest, forcing warmth into my voice. Get some lunch? Clear our heads? Actually, Emily smooths invisible wrinkles from the dress. I should get back to work. We can continue this another time. Madame Claire's carefully maintained smile slips. But we have 3 more appointments scheduled. I'll cover any cancellation fees. I cut in, pulling out my credit card. Emily's already disappeared into the dressing room, leaving the $1,000 gown in a heap on the floor. 10 minutes later, we're standing on Michigan Avenue, the spring wind whipping between us like a physical barrier. Emily's typing on her phone, her copper hair, so like her mother's, falling forward to shield her face. Everything okay? I ask. You seem distracted? Fine, just work stuff. She doesn't look up. Thanks for today, but maybe we should hold off on more appointments for a while. Of course. I hesitate, then add, you know, when I was planning my wedding to your father, I have to go. She's already backing away, finally meeting my eyes with a smile that doesn't quite fit her face. Joshua's waiting. I watch her hurry down the street, weaving through tourists and shoppers until she disappears around a corner. Only then do I let myself follow. The coffee shop is 3 blocks away, tucked between a bookstore and a vintage clothing boutique. Through the window, I see Emily slide into a booth across from a woman with familiar copper hair. Karen's back, but she's not lurking in shadows anymore. My phone buzzes. Andrew calling. I silence it, pressing closer to the glass. Emily's animated now, hands moving as she talks, face bright with an enthusiasm I haven't seen in weeks. Karen reaches across the table to touch her daughter's hand, and Emily doesn't pull away. Maya? I spin around to find Lisa standing there, shopping bags in hand, concern etched across her face. What are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. She glances through the window, then grabs my arm. Come on, you don't need to see this. She's supposed to be at work, I say, allowing Lisa to pull me away. She's been lying about every appointment, hasn't she? Meeting Karen instead of planning the wedding? Maybe it's not what you think. Then what is it? My voice cracks. Because from where I'm standing, it looks like my stepdaughter is planning her wedding with the woman who abandoned her, while I write checks and play dress-up with empty boutique appointments. Lisa steers me into the bookstore, away from prying eyes. Have you talked to Andrew about this? He's too afraid of losing her again to see what's happening. I laugh, but there's no humor in it. You know what the worst part is? I actually convinced myself that paying for everything would make a difference, as if I could buy my way into being her mother. Maya. No. I straighten my spine, smooth my hair. Habits from 20 years of business meetings where showing weakness meant losing everything. It's fine. If Emily wants to pretend I don't exist, I can play that game too. What are you going to do? I think about the wedding fund I've set aside, the venues I've researched, the vendors I've contacted, all that careful planning, all those perfectly crafted arrangements just waiting to fall apart. Nothing, I say, but my mind is already calculating angles, identifying pressure points. I'm going to do absolutely nothing. Lisa knows me too well to believe it. Just be careful. Remember who you're dealing with. Oh, I remember. I check my phone. 3 missed calls from Andrew now. I remember everything. Through the bookstore window, I can still see the coffee shop. Emily and Karen are leaving, hugging on the sidewalk like they've never been apart, like the past 8 years never happened. That's fine. They can have their secret meetings and their perfect plans. I'll have my revenge. The email from Karen sits in my inbox like a loaded gun. Subject line, about Emily's wedding. I've been staring at it for 20 minutes, my office growing darker as the sun sets over Chicago's skyline. My finger hovers over delete, but I open it instead. Maya, we should talk. Emily wants both of us involved in the wedding planning. Let's meet at Riverside Cafe tomorrow at 2 p.m. K. The audacity makes my hands shake. I minimize the email as Andrew walks in, loosening his tie. You're home early, I say, closing my laptop. Emily called. He runs a hand through his graying hair. She's upset about something. Says you've been following her? My throat tightens. Did she mention meeting her mother in secret? Andrew's face doesn't change, but his shoulders stiffen. Maya, don't Maya me. How long have you known? It's complicated. Really? I stand, my chair scraping against the hardwood, because it seems pretty simple. Our daughter? My daughter, he cuts in, then immediately looks like he wants to take it back. The words hang between us like shattered glass. 8 years of marriage, of building a family, erased in 2 words. Right, I say, my voice steady despite the roaring in my ears. Your daughter has been lying to us for weeks, sneaking around with the woman who abandoned her, and you're covering for them. Karen made mistakes, but she's still Emily's mother. And what am I? Andrew reaches for me, but I step back. You're my wife. Emily cares about you. She just what? Needs space? Needs time? Needs her real mother? Each question feels like acid on my tongue. When were you planning to tell me? We were waiting for the right moment. We? The laptop screen catches my eye. Karen's email still minimized. How long have you been in contact with her? His silence is answer enough. Perfect. I grab my purse, needing to move, to breathe, to be anywhere but here. Your ex-wife wants to meet tomorrow to discuss the wedding. Maybe you can give her some tips on how to stab me in the back more efficiently. Don't be dramatic. Andrew blocks the doorway. Emily's trying to bridge 2 worlds. The least we can do is support her. Support her? I laugh, the sound sharp enough to make him wince. I've done nothing but support her. I've written checks, planned appointments, swallowed every slight and dismissal because I thought eventually she'd see me as family. But this isn't about Emily anymore, is it? What's that supposed to mean? You never got over Karen leaving. The words taste like truth as soon as I say them. You're using Emily's wedding as an excuse to let her back in. That's ridiculous. Is it? I pull out my phone, open the banking app, because someone's been making regular transfers to an account in Seattle for the past 3 months, right around when Karen conveniently moved back. Andrew's face drains of color. You've been monitoring my accounts? I monitor everything. I show him the screen. Want to explain these payments? Emily asked me. He stops, realizing his mistake too late. Emily asked you to secretly send money to Karen? My voice rises with each word. And you just did it? Without discussing it with me? With our joint accounts? Keep your voice down. Why? Afraid the neighbors will hear what a lying. Enough! Andrew slams his hand against the door frame. You want the truth? Yes, I've been helping Karen. Yes, I knew about the meetings. Because unlike you, I understand that family is complicated. Family? The word tastes like poison. You want to talk about family? I built 30 successful businesses while you played happy reunions with your ex-wife. Every penny in those accounts? That's my family's legacy. And you've been funneling it to the woman who walked out on you. Maya, please. My phone buzzes. A text from Emily. Hope you enjoyed stalking me today. Stay out of my life. Something snaps inside me. I turn back to my laptop, pull up my banking website. What are you doing? Andrew asks, worry creeping into his voice. Supporting my family. I start typing. I'm freezing all our joint accounts. The wedding fund, the savings, everything. Since you and Emily are so close with Karen now, maybe she can pay for the perfect family reunion you're all planning. You can't do this. I meet his eyes, feeling calmer than I have in weeks. Watch me. As I hit enter, I think about Karen's email, her invitation to meet tomorrow. Maybe I'll go after all. It's time everyone understood exactly who they're dealing with. Riverside Cafe bustles with the lunch crowd when Karen slides into the seat across from me. 8 years haven't changed her much. Same copper hair, same practiced smile. She orders chamomile tea like she's settling in for a pleasant chat between old friends. Thank you for meeting me, she says, stirring honey into her cup. I know this isn't easy. I leave my coffee untouched. Let's skip the pleasantries. What do you want? To clear the air, Emily told me about the accounts being frozen. Did she tell you about the secret meetings too? The money Andrew's been sending you? Karen's smile flickers. That was Emily's idea. She wanted to help me get back on my feet. With my money. I assumed Andrew had discussed it with you. She leans forward, voice dropping. Maya, I know you care about Emily. That's why I'm here. There are things you should know about. My phone buzzes. A text from Lisa. 911. Call me now. Excuse me, I say, standing. Family emergency. Karen's laugh stops me cold. Family? Is that what you think you are to Emily? I step outside, dial Lisa's number. Her voice comes through tight with tension. Where are you? Meeting Karen at Riverside. What's wrong? Emily just left my office. She wanted documentation about your salon's ownership structure. The world tilts sideways. What? She said she's working with Joshua's father. He's a corporate lawyer. They're building a case that Andrew has partial ownership rights through your marriage. If they can prove it, they can force a sale during the divorce. My free hand grips the building's brick wall. How long have they been planning this? Maya, there's more. I saw emails on Emily's phone while she was looking through files. Karen's not just back for the wedding. She and Andrew have been seeing each other. The pieces click into place. The money transfers, the secret meetings. They're getting back together. I'm so sorry. Through the cafe window, I see Karen watching me, that same practiced smile in place. 8 years of building a family, and they've been orchestrating its destruction behind my back. Maya, Lisa's voice seems far away. What are you going to do? I end the call, walk back inside. Karen stirring her tea again, the picture of innocence. Everything okay? She asks. You know what's funny? I sit down, finally take a sip of my cold coffee. I actually came here planning to make peace, to be the bigger person. We can still. When did you and Andrew start sleeping together again? The spoon clatters against her cup. That's not. Save it. I know everything. The affair, the plot to claim my businesses, all of it. I lean forward, dropping my voice like she did earlier. But here's what you don't know. Those ownership documents Emily wants, they don't exist. Because unlike Andrew, I learned from my first marriage never to mix business with pleasure. Maya, I built everything I have while you were running away from your responsibilities, and now you think you can waltz back in and take it all? I stand, pulling out my wallet. Tell Emily she just lost her last chance at a relationship with me. And tell Andrew. I drop a 20 on the table. Actually, don't tell Andrew anything. He'll find out soon enough. What does that mean? I'm already walking away when my phone buzzes again. An email from my private investigator, surveillance photos of Andrew and Karen together, dating back months. Bank records showing far more than just those transfers to Seattle. Everything I need. Outside, the spring air feels different now, cleaner, sharper. I dial my lawyer's number. Sandra? Remember when I said I wanted to handle the divorce amicably? I start walking toward my office, each step more purposeful than the last. Change of plans. I want everything, and I want them to hurt. I end the call, look back through the cafe window one last time. Karen's still sitting there, face pale, stirring her tea like it holds the answers she desperately needs. Let her stir. Let them all worry. They thought they could destroy what I built. Instead, they just gave me permission to show them exactly who I am without the facade of family obligation. And unlike Karen, when I walk away from something, I make sure there's nothing left standing. The dinner reservation wasn't mine. I realize this as the maitre d' leads us to a corner table where Karen is already seated, Emily beside her. Andrew's hand tightens on my lower back, steering me forward like a lamb to slaughter. Of course, they planned this. Surprise, Emily says, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. We thought it was time for a proper family discussion. I slide into my seat, noting the empty wine glasses, the careful arrangement. How long have you been planning this ambush? Maya, Andrew warns, but Karen cuts in. No, she's right. We should be honest. Karen folds her hands on the table. Emily and I have been talking about the wedding, about roles, traditions, expectations. The waiter appears with wine, already ordered, already poured, red like the fury building behind my eyes. And what expectations would those be? I keep my voice level, watching Emily's fingers drum against her water glass. I want my mother to walk me down the aisle, Emily says, with Dad. The words hang there like smoke. Andrew shifts beside me, his guilt a tangible thing. Both of my parents, together. Emily continues, each word deliberate. It's traditional. Traditional? I taste copper, realize I'm biting my cheek. Like traditionally abandoning your child? Or traditionally sleeping with your ex-husband behind his new wife's back? Karen's glass freezes halfway to her lips. Emily's eyes widen. That's enough, Andrew starts, but I'm already pulling out my phone, sliding it across the table. The surveillance photos shine clear on the screen. Karen and Andrew outside her apartment, their embrace anything but parental. When were you planning to mention this part of the tradition? Emily snatches up the phone, color draining from her face. Dad? It's not what you think. Andrew reaches for the phone, but Emily pulls back. Really? My laugh draws looks from nearby tables. Because I think you've been funneling my money to your mistress while plotting to steal my businesses. I think you've all been playing me for a fool. We weren't, Karen starts. Save it. I stand, my chair scraping against hardwood. You want traditions? Here's one. The wicked stepmother finally stopping the princess from making the biggest mistake of her life. What does that mean? Emily's voice shakes. It means Joshua's been asking questions about your secret meetings with Karen, about the money. He came to my office yesterday, worried about what he was marrying into. Emily's face crumples. You talked to Joshua? He deserved to know what kind of family he was joining. Though after our chat, I'm not sure there'll be a wedding to worry about. You had no right. Andrew grabs my arm. I wrench away. Like you had no right to my money, to my trust, to the years I spent trying to be part of this family? Maya, please. Karen reaches across the table. We can work this out. Work what out? How to divide the spoils? How to explain to your daughter why her parents are sneaking around like teenagers? I grab my purse. Or maybe how to tell your fiancé that your mother abandoned you because she was sleeping with her boss, not because of depression like everyone thought? Karen recoils like I've slapped her. Emily turns to her, questions forming on her lips. That's right, I continue, venom rising. Ask her about Richard Thompson. Ask her why she really left Seattle. Stop it! Andrew stands, fury finally breaking through his careful facade. Or what? You'll divorce me? Take my money? Too late. I pull out another phone, my business line. While you were all plotting here, my lawyers were filing papers. The accounts aren't just frozen anymore. They're gone. Transferred to offshore holdings even Emily's future father-in-law can't touch. You can't do this, Emily whispers. I already have. I turn to leave, then pause. Oh, and Karen, Richard sends his regards. His wife was very interested in those old emails you thought you deleted. I walk away to the sound of breaking glass. Emily's wine, knocked over as she lunges for her phone, probably trying to reach Joshua. Let her try. Some traditions are meant to be broken. Outside, my hands shake as I dial Lisa's number. Is it done? She asks. Almost. I watch through the window as my carefully orchestrated destruction unfolds. Tell Sandra to proceed with phase 2. It's time everyone learned what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. The night air feels electric against my skin, charged with the promise of revenge. They wanted a proper family discussion? Fine, let's see how they handle having all their secrets laid bare. The photographs spread across my desk like fallen leaves. Surveillance shots of Andrew and Karen, bank statements, emails, evidence of betrayal laid bare in black and white. The bottle of scotch beside them is half empty, but I'm still too sober for this. A knock at my office door. Joshua stands there, looking younger than his 26 years. You wanted to see me? I gesture to the chair across from me. Have you talked to Emily? She's not taking my calls. He sits, eyes catching on the photos. Is that her parents? Yes, quite the reunion. I slide the bank statements toward him. And here's where my money went. Your future father-in-law must be proud of his legal strategy. Joshua's face pales. I didn't know about any of this. Emily said the wedding fund was just the beginning. I pour another drink. They wanted everything, my businesses, my properties, my reputation. One big happy family taking down the wicked stepmother. I can talk to her, make her understand. That's not why I called you here. I pull out a manila envelope. These are copies of everything, bank records, photos, emails, including ones between Emily and Karen plotting how to use your father's firm against me. Take them. His hands shake as he accepts the envelope. Why are you giving me this? Because you deserve to know who you're really marrying. I stand, walk to the window overlooking the city. Emily's not the victim here. She's her mother's daughter. Maya, my phone buzzes. Andrew's name on the screen. The 10th call today. I silence it. They're holding a family dinner tonight, Joshua says quietly, to discuss the wedding. Emily wants me there, to make peace. I turn back to him, catch my reflection in the window. Designer suit, perfect makeup, empty eyes. Another ambush? Probably. He stands, envelope clutched tight. What are you going to do? What they least expect. After he leaves, I call Lisa. Is everything ready? Maya, please think about this. Once you do this, is everything ready? A pause. Yes, the papers are filed. The press release goes out at 9 tomorrow morning. Good. I check my watch. Time to crash a family dinner. The restaurant is different this time. Karen's choice, no doubt. More casual, less witnesses. They're all there when I arrive. Andrew, Karen, Emily, Joshua, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Even Lisa, invited to play mediator. Emily sees me first. You weren't invited. Funny, neither was Karen 8 years ago. I sit, order whiskey neat. But here we are. Maya, Andrew starts, we need to talk about the divorce, the lawsuit, or how about Karen's old boss in Seattle? I smile as Karen flinches. No? Then let's talk about tomorrow's press release. Emily straightens. What press release? The one announcing that my entire salon empire is being donated to a trust supporting abandoned children, every property, every asset, all going to help kids whose parents threw them away. Silence drops like a bomb. You can't, Andrew whispers. Those businesses are mine, solely mine, documented and verified by 3 separate law firms. I take a slow sip of whiskey. You can't steal what doesn't exist anymore. This is insane, Emily's voice cracks. You're destroying everything just to hurt us? No, sweetheart. I'm destroying everything because you already hurt me. I stand, steady despite the alcohol. The trust launches tomorrow, the divorce papers are filed, and Karen's old emails to Richard go public next week. Game over. Wait, Lisa grabs my arm. There's something you don't know. I know enough. I pull free, face my shattered family one last time. You wanted me gone. Congratulations. You win, but I'm taking everything with me. I'm halfway to the door when Emily's voice stops me. Mom. For a moment, my heart stops, but she's looking at Karen, tears streaming down her face. Tell her, Emily pleads, tell her the truth about Richard. I turn back, see Karen's face crumple, see Andrew reach for her hand. Maya, Karen whispers, Richard wasn't my boss. He was my brother, and he's Emily's real father. The whiskey glass slips from my hand, shatters against the floor. The sound echoes like everything I thought I knew, breaking apart piece by piece. The press release sits in my draft folder, waiting for dawn. One click and everything I've built becomes a weapon against my own family. My phone lights up with another message from Lisa. Richard's here, coming to your office. Don't do anything until... I delete it without reading further. The bottle of scotch is empty now, but my hands are steady as I pull up the transfer documents. One signature and it's done. No going back. The door opens. I don't need to look up to know it's not Lisa. Hello, Maya. Richard's voice is exactly like Karen's. Same careful tone, same hidden edges. Come to defend your sister's honor? I keep typing, refusing to meet his eyes. Or just here to watch the fallout? I'm here to tell you the truth. He sits without invitation. About Emily, about why Karen left. Save it. I've heard enough family secrets for one lifetime. Have you? Papers slide across my desk. Old medical records, DNA tests. Andrew knew from the beginning. That's why Karen ran, not because of an affair, but because he threatened to expose everything if she didn't leave. My fingers freeze over the keyboard. You're lying. Am I? Check the dates. The payments started right after Emily was born. Andrew's been blackmailing us for 24 years. The documents blur before my eyes. Dates, amounts, threats carefully worded as business arrangements. All leading back to Andrew's private accounts, the same accounts he used to pay Karen now. Why come forward now? Because you're about to destroy the wrong person. Richard leans forward. Karen didn't come back for Andrew. She came back because I'm dying. Emily deserves to know her real father before it's too late. My phone buzzes again. Andrew's name. This time, I answer. It's done. His voice comes through tight with triumph. Board meeting's over. They've accepted your resignation, effective immediately. Your empire's gone, Maya. Should have played nice with family. I look at Richard, see Karen's eyes staring back at me. You're right about that. The elevator dings outside my office. Footsteps approach, multiple sets. You're just in time, I say into the phone. We're having a family reunion. Andrew appears in this doorway, Emily and Karen behind him. Their smiles fade when they see Richard. What is he doing here? Andrew's voice shakes. Funny story. I stand, finally feeling clear-headed. I just learned some interesting things about family loyalty. Want to explain the blackmail payments, Andrew? Or should we let Emily read the proof herself? Emily steps forward. What payments? Maya, Andrew warns, but I'm already pulling up the records on my screen. Your father, your real father, has quite a paper trail. 24 years of payments to keep him away, to keep Karen quiet, to maintain the perfect family image. I turn the screen toward Emily, all while using my money to pay for his silence. Dad? Emily's voice cracks. What is she talking about? It's complicated, Andrew starts, but Karen cuts him off. No more lies. She moves to Richard's side. Emily, we wanted to tell you so many times, but Andrew threatened to ruin us all, Richard finishes. Used Maya's success to keep funding his schemes. The perfect plan until Maya started asking questions. Emily sways, grabs the door frame for support. All this time, you knew. I did it for you. Andrew reaches for her, but she recoils. The board meeting was fake, wasn't it? I laugh, the sound harsh in the quiet room. Just like your threats about my resignation. You never had that power. Maya, no. I pull up another screen. While you were playing Happy Families, I was tracking every penny, every threat, every lie. The FBI is very interested in long-term blackmail schemes, Andrew, especially ones involving corporate funds. The color drains from his face. You wouldn't. I already did. Red and blue lights flash through the window. They're here for the evidence, all of it, including your private servers. Emily turns to Karen, to Richard, tears streaming. Why didn't you fight back? Why didn't you tell me? Because that's what real parents do, I say quietly. They protect their children, no matter the cost. The elevator dings again. Federal agents pour into the outer office. Maya, Andrew pleads, we can fix this. I look at my shattered family, the lies, the betrayals, the hidden truths, finally exposed. No, Andrew, we can't. But we can end it. I press send on the press release, not to announce a donation, but to tell the real story, all of it. Sometimes revenge isn't about destruction. Sometimes it's about the truth. The courtroom empties slowly, whispers trailing in its wake. Andrew's shoulders slump as the bailiff leads him away. No final glance, no last-minute plea. Just silence and the echo of the judge's verdict, 8 years for fraud and extortion. I gather my papers, feeling lighter than I have in months. Not victorious. Victory implies there was something to win. This was about survival. Maya, Emily stands in the aisle, fingers twisting the strap of her purse. She looks more like Karen than ever, but there's something different in her eyes. Something harder. The trust paperwork is ready, I say, keeping my voice neutral. Everything's set up for Richard's treatment. That's not why I'm here. She slides into the bench beside me. I found the letters, the ones you wrote me every birthday, even after I stopped speaking to you. My hands still. Those letters were never meant to be found. Yearly confessions of love, hope, and eventually grief, stored in a box Andrew was supposed to have destroyed. Joshua and I postponed the wedding, she continues. I need time to figure out who I am without all the lies. Smart choice. I learned from you. A ghost of a smile touches her lips. You could have destroyed us all, but you chose the truth instead, even when it hurt. The truth was revenge enough. Lisa appears at the courtroom door, Karen and Richard behind her. The family that could have been, waiting for the daughter they all failed. I don't know how to forgive any of you yet, Emily says, standing. But I'd like to try. She walks away before I can respond, joining her parents, both sets of them, in the doorway. They move together like planets finding a new orbit, leaving me in the empty courtroom with my hollow victory. My phone buzzes, a news alert about Andrew's conviction. Below it, a message from my lawyer about the divorce settlement. Everything's finished. Clean, complete. So why does it feel like I'm still waiting for something? The answer comes in a small envelope left on my desk that evening. Inside, a single photograph. Emily at 8 years old, grinning at the camera in a Halloween costume I helped her make. On the back, in her adult handwriting, some family bonds survive even when they're built on lies. Thank you for showing me the difference. I trace the words, remembering the girl who once called me mom, who trusted me before ambition and betrayal poisoned everything, the daughter I lost in my quest for justice. The phone rings, the board of directors, wanting to discuss the future of my salons now that the scandal's settled. I should answer, should dive back into the empire I protected so fiercely. Instead, I pull out a fresh sheet of paper and begin to write. Dear Emily, there are no good guys in this story. We all chose revenge over love at some point. But maybe that's not the end. The words flow easier now, without agenda or anger. Just truth, offered without expectation of forgiveness. Sometimes that's all family can give each other. I seal the letter, add it to the box of undelivered ones. Maybe someday she'll read them all. Maybe she won't. The choice is hers now. My office window overlooks the city where I built everything I thought I wanted: success, power, control. The lights blur as evening settles, each one a different kind of truth waiting to be uncovered. Lisa calls, probably to check if I'm okay. I let it ring. Some questions don't have answers yet. Some wounds need time before they can become scars. The last light fades from my office, leaving only reflections. In the glass, I see myself. Not the vengeful warrior or the wounded stepmother, but something in between. Someone who finally understands that real power isn't in destroying what hurts us, but in choosing when to let it go. I leave the letterbox on my desk, unlocked. Tomorrow, Emily will come to sign the final trust documents. She'll see it, recognize her name on decades of unopened envelopes. What she does next will be her choice. Sometimes revenge isn't about winning or losing. Sometimes it's about finding the courage to stop fighting long enough to see what's left standing in the aftermath. I turn off the lights and walk away, leaving the door open behind me.